right, this is Jeff from Dirt Merchant Bikes. We're here with David Turner from Turner Bikes, and we're going to talk about the design of the new Turner Flux. All right, over to David.
All right, thanks, Jeff. So, first day of the show, 2016 Interbike, and we just finished 2 days of outdoor demo. Yesterday was unbelievable. 70 degrees, overcast, light breeze. I don't think in all the years I've ever done dirt demo at Boulder City that the conditions were ever as nice. The only thing better would have been a little bit of rain, but we couldn't get that. So we had a lot of bikes go out yesterday. We were out most of the day, actually. No demos left, certainly in the popular sizes. And the Flux got a lot of exposure for the first time. A lot of different people got to ride it. And one of the things that it has been asked both, in numerous emails with some of you people out there, with the riders the last couple of days of dirt demo, the difference. How does the Flux differentiate itself from the previous Flux, the previous burner, because it kind of falls between those two really in performance, and then of course the RFX. Well, how it differs from the previous burner is, first of all, it's carbon frame construction, so it's for roughly the same weight, it's a quite a bit more rigid feeling frame. You could say it's damper and all that stuff, high frequency vibrations and all that good stuff are dissipated by the carbon, but the real difference is in the stiffness. So with a bigger, stiffer fork than one would ever run on the alloy Fluxes of the past, this thing will push them and not get deflected all over the place. Of course, the wider bars today will make pushing bigger forks possible, so it's kind of a synergy between leverage of the bar, diameter of the fork legs, and frame construction. The other is that we kept the travel in the more playful and shorter travel range than the RFX. We didn't want to have them too close together. After doing this for 22 years, we have learned that there's really different camps of riders, and certainly there's some people that would love to have a carbon burner because they don't want to make up the mind whether they're a rough terrain, more aggressive rider, or a higher mileage, what would be more beneficial to ride the Flux. But the reality is that your personality, and if you think about how you ride, who you ride with, and what your past bikes have been, you can build a Flux to, if you're a more aggressive rider, but you're not jumping off shit, you're not doing repeats down, nasty sections, etc., the Flux would be your bike. But that doesn't mean you want, 120 or 30 millimeter fork with only 20 or 32 millimeter stanchions. So you can build it up a bit to fit your, terrain. And the same, I guess, is true with an RFX. You can certainly build an RFX down if you're more of a higher mileage person, but live in a really rough area, and you just want to go for a trail ride, more mileage, more time on the bike, more travel to deal with the rough terrain. Now we're also entering a time today where so many trails are being sanitized, crowbarred, sawed, and shoveled up. Flow trails, right? So with flow trails, this bike rips. The way we have them set up is 30 millimeter inside width rims, 2.35 tires, and with when on a flow type trail, this bike, a little lower bottom bracket than its big brother, the RFX, is probably faster. I don't know, I don't Strava, so, but it certainly is more nimble and easier to control for somebody, certainly like myself, or myself specifically, because it's not so big. I can, the weight is lighter because I've built the bike lighter, and I can now pick different lines. So because the bike's a little bit steeper head angle, I can choose an inside line, a mid line, much quicker, as opposed to just bombing everything. So yeah, the differences. There are a lot, especially if you choose to build them, the two bikes, when I say them, up or down, and you can either get them closer together or away from each other.
Great. Thanks, David.